My name is Darryl Robert Schoon, and I'm here with author, gold coin dealer, silver coin dealer, and seller of junk paper, right? Ralph Terry Foster. And this is the book that has brought me into his orbit. Here he is in Berkeley. He commissioned some very, very competent graduate students at the University of California to compile the history of fiat money.
Research assistants.
Research assistants. I mean, these are the same people that toil endlessly for professors up in the hill. All right.
So now they're all professors themselves. Yes.
But you caught them when they were vulnerable.
Oh, when they're graduate students, they're very easy to work with.
Low on the food chain.
Right.
All right.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And gave them a task to compile the history of fiat paper money. Now, I wanted to make a point of this today, Terry. We are almost at the 1,000th anniversary of the birth of paper money. Because of your book, I now know that paper money first appeared in 1024.
Right.
We are now at 2015.
Very close.
All right. We are within 9 years of the official birth of paper money, and over 1,000 years. I think you're given when you predict things a leeway of 3%. We're within 0.3. We're well within the thing. So today, you and I are now celebrating the history of a viral disease that is about to destroy our global economy. The birth of paper money 1,000 years ago. All right?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. I'm convinced of it. You're a little more academic, so you're not going to make any predictions, all right?
No.
You wanted to say something about it, and it had to do with this.
I think for the first time over the last several years, the book's been around for several years, I was hit with something that hit me square about 2-3 months ago. And I said, my Lord, this is the most important page in the book. And I've really never mentioned gold and silver too much in the book. I just study the bibliography, basically just researches the development of several pages in the bibliography, just the development of the currency units, the national currency units.
Throughout history, throughout countries.
Right.
It's complete.
One page 196 of the book. And I've actually copyrighted and made a little poster print of the book, which shows a currency collapse in graphic form. It was on a not gilt note issued in the Weimar Republic in the 1922 and 1923. Circulated as local currency, really had very little value, but it shows the panic of a currency collapse.
This is off a piece of money?
Right, this is actually a piece of money,
no.
Local currency.
Oh, no.
And it shows that the translation reads, with gold and silver you can buy anything you want very cheaply.
Terry.
Your paper money buys nothing.
Terry, that's like buying a vial of medicine from Pfizer that shows a person dead on a table after getting an injection of one of their medicines.
Well,
this is on a note of paper money.
Right. The local currency.
Local currency.
It's a little small note. I have it in the safe.
Oh, this is terrible.
Well protected.
This is terrible.
But it's just it shows these people. They have very little recourse. And this was in a fairly much agrarian society. They were able to barter, trade, and get through as best they could. But it shows the importance of the precious metals, which I seldom address. But I wanted to get the feeling of what the panic is like.
Yes.
Thank God we're not in that type of panic in this country today.
Yet. Now, I wanted to make a note of that. I've read this book, and it was a game changer for me. All right? And as Terry says, he doesn't mention gold and silver very much, but it's in the background. It's what I call subtext, because throughout history, you read every experiment with paper money, and that it ends up in total collapse and economic chaos and the collapse of that society. And that's why when I read this, I first read your book, I referred to it throughout my writings. I think I referred to it even my last article. All right, because this is really, really important. Now, on the spine of this book. All right. We came into Terry's bookstore today, and we found him with these pieces of worthless currency. He cuts them up and he glues them to the spine of your book.
Well, I want people to share in what the misery others felt. The people who owned these notes, their lives were turned upside down when they went worthless, and it happened, and they couldn't. They had they had nothing.
Now,
Nothing.
He as he was gluing it to the spine of one of these books, he was telling us a story. He held one up, it was filled with glue, and he says, I bought this from a Bulgarian man, a nice Bulgarian man, and I bought a sack of his money for $20. All right?
Right. Now, you've been to a couple other coin dealers who didn't even want them. And I said these would be ideal for my book spines, and as with other notes, I sell a lot of books, and I have to put these on the spine.
Because you want to share the pain.
Well, it's the misery that others felt.
Yes.
You're getting each book is unique. I don't put it in PDF form because of this reason. I've been criticized for that at least twice a week from somebody who actually bought the real book and they'd like to get it easier. And I've lost a lot of sales because I don't put it in a PDF form. But I'm sorry, that's the nature of my intellectual property, whether one likes it or not. I have to stick to my guns on that.
So here we are. We're in 2015, celebrating the 1,000-year anniversary of a deadly monetary virus.
Very close to it.
Okay,
Close to it.
Paper money was a virus, essentially a deadly monetary virus, insinuated into the world currency history of world currency for the first time 1,000 years ago. We're now approaching the 1,000-year birthday. I believe it's going to be sad. I believe it's going to be tragic. But I believe what's going to happen is it's going to finally finish it once and for all. The Chinese, according to your book, were the first ones to start this experiment.
And they stopped it in
after
1661. Yes.
After 600 years, they outlawed paper money. The Brits came up with their own form of it in a form of a conveyance of debt in 1694, only 33 years later. That's a magic number, by the way, esoterically. 33 years later, and now we are at the end of that experiment, which is going to bring this whole edifice of credit and debt down. But I can only recommend to the viewers today that it's Christmas is coming up. Share the pain. Fiat Paper Money, the history and evolution of our currency, Ralph T. Foster. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Okay.